Blog Talk Radio.
You are listening to Shriekfest Radio.
Welcome to Shriekfest Radio. This is Denise Gossett, the festival founder and director, and your host for the day. So Shriekfest Radio has been on air for 8 years. I cannot believe it. And this is show number 201. Guys, it is Women in Horror Month. February is, and make sure you give a little extra love to all the women in horror in your life. Super important because there's a bunch of us out there, and I think it's great that we're getting a little bit of notoriety and appreciation during this month. Shriekfest LA is in its 20th year. It will be October 1st through the 4th, so mark your calendars. Shriekfest Orlando will be the 4th year, and that will be November 7th. Our next Shriekfest Presents, which is when we screen classic horror films outside of the festival. We do it every month or every other month. It just depends on what we have in the works. We usually have special guests for Q&A and things like that. So the next one will be coming up. We haven't finalized it quite yet, so I can't announce it, but it will be a good one. And let's see. We have a newsletter you can sign up for on our website. The call-in number today, if you have a question for myself or my guest, is 516-531-9858, 516-531-9858. Or if you're shy and you have a question and would rather not be on the air, you can always tweet at Shriekfest or shriekfest@aol.com, and I will periodically glance at those and get your questions answered. So let's see, our next cutoff date for submissions is March 1st. We have features and short scripts, features and shorts films. We have music videos. We have horror, thriller, sci-fi, fantasy categories. We added a bunch of new categories this year. So we have Best Director, Actress, Actor, Cinematography, and editing added in, which is kind of exciting. And I think that is all of the announcements. I'm really excited about my guest today. Like I said, it's Women in Horror Month, so I'm having ladies on this month, which is super cool. Her name is Mariana Lui, and she is a producer, art direction. She's even done some visual effects, and she was the producer of our 2019 official selection, White Wolf Zombie Killer, which was a super cool short. And welcome to the show, Mariana.
Hi, thanks for having me, Denise.
How are you?
I am super good. It's the middle of the week. I know it took me forever to figure out why people called it hump day, and now that I have been working full-time for a while, I now understand.
Right, exactly. You got to make it over that hump, and then you're almost to the weekend.
Yes, but this is a really nice way to spend hump day.
Yay! Well, I am so glad you're here, and I'm super excited because, you know, usually we have directors on or writers on, and we don't always get the producers on. So this is really wonderful, and I know for everyone out there listening, they're going to want to know some certain things. So first, I want to know, how did you get into this industry? What made you say, this is what I want to do?
Well, probably my love of figuring out problems, because even when I was younger, if I grew up in an apartment complex, if we were all bored, I would just kind of come up with games for everyone to play and like organize everybody, and we made up our own version of like Capture the Flag. So that just kind of continued as I got older, like, oh, somebody needs to plan this event, and I would plan the event. So when the opportunity came up to produce Circle Jerks, which is my first short film that I produced, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, you mean it's just producing things, figuring it out, and, like, getting things together? Like, I really love watching things come together. So it just kind of naturally played on my interests because I love movies. Who doesn't? So it's just cool. Right. It happened to work out.
Wow. So were you born in LA? Like, where'd you grow up, and what made you decide I got to move to LA?
Well, I was born in Mexico City, But I moved to LA when I was 2, so that was decided for me.
Fate
but
stepped
I love
in.
it here. Yes, exactly. I love it here. I visited all over, but I always say, oh, okay, I get why people move to LA. I really like our weather.
Yeah, no, it's the best. That is the best thing. I wish we could get rid of some of the smog, but the weather's great. Okay, so when you moved here at 2, and then you had always kind of been an organizer, a planner, and events and all that sort of thing. And you said your first film was a short film called Circle Jerks. Anything to do with the band?
No, I wish. I really wish.
I know,
it's
right?
a cool name, so we decided. I know, so we decided to take that. But that was interesting to me because it's a sort of an exploration of the different multiple personalities of one person that is suffering from insomnia and they can't sleep.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so it's kind of like their anger comes out and is, a really big driving force in the film. Their like little kid is there, like the kind of like little kid side of yourself that's just kind of sad. There's like a goofy side. There's a like depressed kind of emo side. So it was a very interesting kind of like interpretation of internal dialogues that we all have.
Wow. And how did you get involved with White Wolf Zombie Killer?
Well, Kenneth Lui, the writer-director, is my husband, so he comes up with ideas, and then I either support them, and I say, yeah, this is a great idea, I think we can totally do this, or I say, you know what, maybe you should chew on that one a little bit more.
Like every marriage, right?
Right. But it works out because I really enjoy supporting the artist's vision. So when he has a really cool idea like White Wolf Zombie Killer, I'm like, oh my God, yes, let's make this happen. We had so many shoot days on this because it's an action film. So we had rehearsals, we had some stunt coordinators, we had stunts on it, we had puppet effects. There was a lot going on. So it just sounded really cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. It turned out really wonderful. And what I think is interesting about it is there's no dialogue.
Yes.
It's all through the action, and you're watching and you figure everything out without, a bunch of people talking.
Yeah, and I love that because I really wanted to take advantage of the medium because there's certain things you can only really do with a film. So in this case, we let the actor, Jason Frost, who's an amazing actor, sort of emote through his body. And to make it even harder, give him a little extra challenge, we gave him these like really thick goggles throughout the whole thing, so you don't get his eyes either. So it's really amazing what Jason did with the performance. I'm so impressed. I mean, I knew he could do it, but the way he did it is just really cool.
Yeah, he did a great job. Anybody out there listening, if you have not seen it, you've got to track it down because if you like zombies, this is a really fun one. A lot of action, a lot of cool stuff. How you said it took a long time to shoot, like how many days?
Oh, goodness. Well, since most of the crew had full-time jobs, we had to do it on weekends. And so I want to say maybe 5 weekends. So it was at like 10 days for about 12 minutes short. And most of it was really because we were using the house we were using. We'd have to set it up, do the set dressing, which I helped art direct, do the makeup. There's a lot of makeup effects. Wait for that to happen. And then once everything is set up, now we have the lights set up, now we go. And then at the end, we had to budget for tearing down, cleaning up the actors, putting the house back together. So, yeah, so that was a process. But I'm really glad and proud of the way it came out because you can't tell that it was over so many weekends.
No,
like
not at all. It just flows
which
nicely.
Is great.
Now, okay, so you worked on projects that had dialogue, and then, of course, this one. Which was harder?
Probably, it's interesting. I never thought about it in terms of which one is harder because to me it's just more of an interesting problem to figure out.
Right.
So for this one, there was a lot of blocking that had to be figured out and framing because a lot of the story is told in the composition as well, not just Jason's body language and his acting, but just the way we compose it. What overtakes the frame, what's in the foreground, what's in the background, how is the lighting. So a lot of that non-dialogue we had to figure out through blocking and lighting, and so that was an interesting problem to solve. But I don't know if it was harder. It's just different because with dialogue you also have, the same things apply to dialogue. It's just blocking, framing, lighting, all of that also affects it. And then with dialogue, when you have actors, especially if there's two talking to each other, not like in Circle Jerks where it's just one guy talking to himself. But when you have two, we had one guy. We actually had a lot of people ask us if we had cast twins because they're so different. But no, just Bill Zappy Bill was our actor in that one. He was just fantastic. He actually was in an Oscar-nominated short called Day One after that, and so I'm like, now everybody else knows how cool Bill is. Like we saw it first.
You lost him. He's not going to want to come now. Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So with dialogue, I think it's cool to just watch actors work with each other because we try to find actors with good chemistry with each other, and then it's just easy because a lot of it just comes in casting. If you cast the right people, the actors really bring it home. How they interpret the character and how they drive the dialogue as well. Because dialogue is just words on a page, but when you actually get the actors doing their craft, it's really cool to watch.
Yeah. Now, did you know Jason, or did you have a casting session and find him?
Both. We know Jason. We worked with him on 1E4. Which is another short we did that's based on a short story by Joey Camo by the same name, which is sort of a love affair that happens through the personal ads in a newspaper. So not horror. It's like we joke it's our sad bastard short. It's very arty. But with White Wolf, it was interesting. We actually went through few different casting options just because it is a zombie movie. There is lots of action in it, but at the end of the day, it is a story, I feel, about fatherhood. And so because there's no dialogue, we had some interesting faces that are more kind of, I guess, stereotypically like action comic faces with some more, thinner faces, and just kind of trying to figure out what we're trying to tell the audience, which is the type of casting. And when Jason came in, he was very handsome. With his style of acting and his face, we're like, okay, that says it, because we needed not just someone who could do the action, but someone who could communicate the softness and the tenderness as well.
Sure. Any memorable moments that happened while shooting, like anything that like you had to, we got to change this now because this didn't work out, or this was super funny, anything like that happen?
Yes, our zombies were originally, we were playing with them being totally like Ken doll nude to just add another extra kind of layer of weirdness. But getting the latex to stay in that area and not look like wrinkly latex was really challenging. So we just decided, you know what, we're already adding all this time with like setting up the house, having to tear down the house, making everybody up. Let's just make it easier on everybody. And how much really is it adding to the story? We're like, it's not really about the zombies. It's about White Wolf, our protagonist. So we're like, okay, we don't need it. So that was an interesting little challenge.
So that kind of one of those challenges that actually worked out for the better.
Oh, yeah.
Which it's amazing how many times that happens on a set, you know, where like in the moment you're like, oh gosh, this is like the worst thing that could happen. And then it turns out to have been one of the best things that could have happened. Because that would have changed your whole feel of the film.
Oh, definitely. It probably would have pushed it more into like a sci-fi kind of vibe, I think.
Right.
Because right now it's super Western, which is what we were going for with the duster, a lot of the lighting. We're going for kind of like a Western inspiration, so we're like, you know what, the weird Ken doll look doesn't really fit the theme either, so it really worked out.
Right. Well, I'm glad it worked out that way. Now, what would advice be to people who want to produce and work with their significant other?
Definitely separate your I guess discussions about the films from your actual relationship, because you really, or at least for me, I kind of go into it like that is a separate job for me. Like I have a mental compartment in my brain where like, okay, we're talking about our projects now. Like we just finished up a feature film that we've been working on for a while called Artists in Agony. And so whenever we're talking about that, I say, okay, like I have to have the producer hat on and like, okay, no, I'm going to veto this. It doesn't make sense. These are the reasons why. Whereas in like my personal life, I'm very go with the flow. I'm very like, oh, whatever you want to eat, honey. Like to the point where he gets irritated because he's like, look, just tell me what you want to eat. I'm like, no, really, it's okay, whatever you want. So
and as a producer,
it's a different mode. Oh no, yeah, I will. Like I like listening and like, why do you like this idea and what do you like about it? And please, explain it to me first. And if I'm really just not buying it, I'm like, look, the amount of work it's going to take to do this isn't going to do what you want. It's going to not pay out. So no, we're not going to do that. No.
Okay, so Kenneth, if you're listening and she will not answer where she wants to go to dinner, you just have to ask her in producer mode.
That's right. So like, for the film, where do you want to eat?
Because then you'll be like, oh, okay, well, why didn't you say so? Okay, so here's where I would really like to go.
Exactly.
So now that can be like code word when he really needs you to not be wishy-washy and just step forward with a decision. He can say, all right, put your producer hat on.
Right.
So you just mentioned a feature. Tell me more.
Oh, so it is a mockumentary about hitmen and their misadventures.
Sounds fun.
Yes. So we call it our little punk rock baby because we really wanted to make it grungy, very kind of underground feeling, very DIY, like a lot of the choices we made make it look very like, is this real? Because the test screenings we had a couple friends who were like, wait, these aren't real, right?
Like,
which is exactly what we wanted. Yeah. So it's a very dark comedy. So if you're a fan of like Happiness, which is one of my favorite dark comedies that my mom hates. I saw it with my mom. Don't watch Happiness with your mom. Unless your mom likes that kind of stuff. Mine really didn't. Yeah, not into the pedophilia in the movie. But if you like dark comedy and just kind of like poking fun at like sort of psychological horrors of humankind, it's fun. Sure. So we just finished it. We're prepping it to go out to festivals. So we're going to see how that goes. We're super excited about it. Have some
Kenneth
cool
directed
talent
again?
in it. Yes, Kenneth directed it. Jason Frost from White Wolf is in this one as well.
Oh, my gosh. That's great.
I know you get to hear him talk this time.
Yay!
He's hilarious. He's probably the first guy we got to sign on to this project, and his scenes are hilarious. I would love to work with Jason for the rest of my life.
Wow. People say that like they'll find their people early on and then they just carry them on every project. So it sounds like it's true for you guys.
Yeah, definitely, because I think when you find someone you can collaborate with and work through, different challenges, different artistic just conversations, it makes something that ordinarily could be really difficult, like filmmaking. There's just so many pieces, and it's complex, and Denise, how hard it can get. If you have people you get along with and that you can collaborate with and will help you figure out these different problems, then absolutely hold on to them forever.
Right. So when you say Artist in Agony is finished, do you mean through post and everything, or just done shooting?
It is through post, through sound, graphics.
Oh my gosh!
I know, it is done. We're super proud. We took ourselves out to a little seafood buffet to celebrate.
I love it. I love it. Well, that is really. I know it's not horror, but it will be fun to see it regardless.
Thank you.
And let me know if you want me to tweet anything out to help promote, because I'm a fan of you guys, so I will definitely help you do that.
Thank you, Denise. And we're a fan of you. Shriekfest is probably my favorite festival I've ever been to. It's been awesome.
Thank you. That means a lot. So, I when you said you were born in Mexico City, I had introduced you at the beginning of the show as Mariana. It's actually Mariana, right?
It is. It's Mariana. A lot of people have, well, not a lot, but some people, maybe a quarter of the people I've ever run into have an issue with the R in Spanish. So I just go with what my kindergarten teacher said when she first pronounced my name in English was, "Oh, Mariana." So I'm like, okay, I guess that's what my name is in English. That's what I go with.
You'll answer no matter what, right? Unless it's something bad, then you can just fake like you didn't hear.
Right.
Okay, so where can people find you? Is there a website for your work? Where are you guys at?
Yes, we have Mental Pictures Productions on Instagram, and that's mental.pictures.productions.
Ooh, I gotta find that too. I don't think we're okay. Mental Pictures
Productions on Instagram.
Okay. I will look.
Yes, we've probably tagged you a couple times from our Shriekfest posts.
Okay, good.
And then a lot of our work is on Kenneth's personal websites, kennethlui.com. We'll actually be coming up with a website specifically for our feature film, and so I'll send that info to you once it's up. There's nothing up yet, but the framing for Artist in Agony is about, it's framed as they say you should never do this, so of course we went ahead and did it. It's a documentary inside a documentary, a movie inside a movie. We broke so many rules. We're like, you know what? If we're going to do our own thing, just rules be damned.
Yes, that's how it should
never do a mockumentary.
It's your baby. You're allowed to do whatever you want with it.
Exactly. That's what we're like, okay, it's punk rock.
Well, this is what I figured out through all the years of being in this industry. There are rules.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you break the rule and you're good, the rules don't matter. If you break the rule and you suck, they matter.
Right.
Make sense?
So let's hope it's the first one for us.
Exactly. I'm sure it will be. So, yes, breaking the rules can be done as long as you commit and you're good at what you're doing.
I totally agree. So our framing is, there's a media site that is covering this documentary, and so once we get that site set up, I'll send you that info.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that is where you can find us for now. Our most active place is on Instagram. Oh, we also have a Facebook, Mental Pictures Productions on Facebook.
Mental Pictures? Okay.
Yes. Our logo
Go give
is like
likes,
a Rorschach
everyone.
test that looks like a butterfly. It says Mental Pictures. So that is us.
Okay. I'm going to find that too. I think I probably already have, but just in case. I noticed that I was following you on Instagram with Shriekfest, but not myself, so I just gave you a follow on there. And
Hooray!
I will check.
+1.
I will check on, I see. Oh, I've already liked you on Facebook, so there we go. It looks like you have 2.
Yay, I love being liked. Thank you.
Do you have 2, or is there 2 mental pictures?
No, there's just one. It has the butterfly logo.
Butterfly,
like
I gotcha.
black and white Rorschach test, ink blot. Mhm.
Okay, I already got it. Excellent. Now, what about Twitter?
We don't do Twitter.
Mariana, you have homework now.
It's a
you
little
have
too
to get on
fast
Twitter
paced for me. I
What?
can't. You know what? I'm more of a visual person, so I like taking pictures and posting it online. But Twitter is too much like at and then following conversations and part 1
No,
out
I
of
know.
16. Like I like following other people's conversations, but we don't have one.
You know, I completely agree with you. And Twitter sucks. They all suck, quite honestly. But you have to do it. So this is your homework. You and Kenneth have got to create a page. Do it for Mental Pictures and just get it started. And once a week, do a tweet. Because the importance with Twitter, you can follow anyone. They do not have to follow back. But I cannot tell you how many times, if you do contact someone on Twitter, they're open to talking to you. This includes financiers. This includes, famous actors or B actors. Like, people will actually engage on Twitter. So it's super important for you to develop your fan base there, too, because when it's down the road and you're making your next feature and you need money, and you can go to people and say, hey, we have X amount of followers on Twitter, X on Instagram and Facebook, they're going to be like, whoa, because they know you already have a fan base set aside waiting for your next project.
I'll talk to Ken about it.
Yep, you got to do it. You got to do it. So I know you did it. You have to tag Shriekfest in one of your tweets this week. I always make everyone do this, and they're like, Denise, no. But seriously, they do come back and go, you were right. It was important, because your fans need to be able to find you on all the platforms. So you may as well just start building it up now. I'm not saying you got to go on there every day and do something. Once a week, just once a week, give a little update. And it can be and you can go in to things like Hootsuite for free and connect your accounts, so when you post once, it goes to all of them.
Very cool.
So check that out. Yeah, check out Hootsuite, because then it's, one time doing the post, but it'll hit all of them, and it'll be good. It'll really help. Trust me on this.
Thanks for that.
All right, Mariana, it was wonderful chatting with you and catching up, and please keep me posted on everything. And like I said, if you tweet to me at Shriekfest, I will retweet and help you get the word out, and tell Kenneth I said hello.
Will do. Thanks so much, Denise. Thank you for having me, and I hope you have another awesome Women in Horror following up for February, and good luck to you. Thanks.
Thank you. And also, because this is Shriekfest's 20th year, I haven't even announced this yet, but I'm going to tell you, and anyone who's listening, I guess, would be, because it's going to be our 20th year, I'm going to do a reunion party so all past people can come.
Yes,
as my guest.
Yes, awesome.
So it's going to be fun. So I'll keep you posted on that,
Awesome.
because I think it will be a blast.
Yes, please do. I would love to see everybody.
Yes. Okay, my dear, you have a great rest of your day, and I will chat with you soon.
Okay, thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You are listening to Shriekfest Radio.
Real quickly, guys, keep following your dreams. Write down those goals, and I'll see you back here next time. Happy Women in Horror Month. All right, bye-bye.